In your opinion, what's the best way to ace the admin exam? I would wait to do practice tests until you're convinced you're ready to take the test, okay? And what everyone does, or 98.7% of humanity, what they tend to do is they go and want to take a practice test, looking for a shortcut, and but also wanting to assess where their weaknesses are. I get that, but I think the best way right now, in the new year, I'll say doing my new admin course will be the best way. But right now, where we're at is I would go through my 4-part admin lightning series, which is here's part one, and so the Salesforce certification courses under I've got a lot of stuff out here. So so there's part one of the admin lightning series, and then there's a part 2, 3, and 4. So I'd recommend working through that, and then I think at that point, taking a practice test. I have practice tests. Everyone under the sun has practice tests. So my practice tests have guidance as far as what was right, what was wrong, and why. And it's time practice tests. And that is the one thing, I guess, a caveat for talking about the Micro Media Plus stuff. And I wasn't sharing my screen, so let me share my screen here. I always do that. It's kind of funny. So here's part 2, 3, and 4. If you just look under Salesforce certification, or you can always do a search for admin, or even look at the splash screen here. But when you search, you've got collections, which are courses. And so here's my 4 parts of the Lightning admin. And I've got advanced admin, and then here's individual videos. But, I want to encourage you to wait to do practice tests until you've gone through all of my content at least once, as far as the admin certification goes, and then perhaps take one practice test. And then you look at what knowledge areas you scored weekly in, and then address those. Then, so once you've taken a practice test, I think address your weak areas, and then you just need to stay in it. I think that the whole concept and what's important is the whole concept of the tortoise versus the hare, the old saying that, the slow and steady wins the race over someone that's just trying to race to the finish line, and they wear out too quickly. I found that in my own experience when I was studying for certifications, that after a couple of hours each day, I just reached a point of no return where I was trying to get more and more into my brain, and I just was kind of tuning out, and I was just kind of going through the motions, whether that was watching videos or going through reading whatever book I was reading through. At the time I was starting out, Trailhead didn't exist. These courses like I've created didn't exist. So I was just scrounging around on YouTube and just, looking for books in bookstores. And that reminds me, I probably need to mention a book that's coming out that I was involved in. But after a couple of hours, you start to kind of fade. And so I think that trying to daily spend at least 30 minutes to an hour with your study plan and just working through some content and really following along with the work that I'm doing, whether it's live or on demand, and not just watching it like Netflix. It's not Netflix and chill. It is actually getting in there and getting hands-on. And, I've talked to people personally that failed the admin exam and asking them, how many reports have you made? And they tell me none. So I know, and they said, I completed your course and I failed. And so, well, how many reports did you create? How many dashboards? Do you know anything about dashboard components? Like, well, I've actually never done a report. I've never touched a dashboard. And so just spending more time on platform. And some of that can be just exploring the setup menu and just letting your curiosity guide you as well. And then just deciding, okay, I'm going to try and build an application to organize my old DVD collection or my recipes or whatever it may be, just to get you in that experience of creating custom objects and fields and relating those objects together, and then seeing what you can report on and what sort of pretty dashboard you can do. And, oh, what's this look like on mobile? You just being kind of self-directed in creating these things so that you have time on platform, and then applying that to especially the weak areas where you're not performing well in.